on today's episode, we're unboxing Night of the Living Dead by CMON Not, Guillotine Games, and Image 10. Now this is an officially licensed game through the Romero estate. It is a Zombicide game, but notice it is not branded Zombicide Night of the Living Dead. This is an actual Night of the Living Dead game. There are some significant rule changes, which I will cover at a later time. So let's see what's inside the box. First of all, you'll notice we have this wonderful evocative art that keeps very much with the theme of the movie. Now that art is replicated on this end, allows you to display the box vertically. It's also replicated on this end. You can display the box horizontally instead, so whichever way you set it on your shelf, you have a nice display piece. New piece of art on this side of the box. That's replicated on this end as well. So opening this box up, you'll see immediately we have our rule book. Notice the cover is in black and white, a little splash of red to it to bring it some color. Looking inside, of course, it shows us our game components, gives us a breakdown of the rules. Notice that even the artwork here is done in kind of a black and white style in keeping with the theme of the game. And as you look at the colors on the cards, things are a little more subdued than you'd expect in a standard Zombicide game. Taking a look at the tiles, you can see the artwork here. Also kind of subdued colors, but they are in color, and the designer said that was a conscious choice. They tried to do tiles in black and white, but it kind of muddied things and made it difficult to tell the difference between different aspects of the tiles. Setting that aside, we've got our advertising flyer for CMON Not. Below that, we have our character cards. So we can see here again, Barbara is done in black and white here. Notice down the side, no skills at blue, a single skill at yellow. Combined at orange, you get one. Combined at red, you get one. This is called the Romero side of the cards. It's in keeping with the spirit of the movie. The other side of the card pack, though, shows you the Zombicide mode. And notice this is more typical. We've got colored artwork. You get a skill at blue, an action at yellow, your choice of 2 at orange, choice of 3 at red. Standard rules apply for going ultra red and those sorts of things in this game. There are different opportunities to go back and forth between the Zombicide side and the Romero side throughout the course of the game. So it changes how the characters react. And what I find fascinating is, even though there's only one here, which is one action, it depends on which peg you use, where you place it. When you flip the card over, you'll have a different orange action. So you have to be careful still where you place your pegs, or you may not have that skill you want when you go Zombicide mode. So taking a look at the trays, you'll notice these are fairly standard trays we come to expect now. Character card placed in the middle. 2 hands worth of items. We've got a nice slider here. Wow, that's got really nice action. You can hear it as I rattle it back and forth. Notice there's only 3 extra slots. You can only carry 5 things in this game. These, of course, indicate which skills are active. And this is your hit point counter. Each person has 3 hit points before they're eliminated. So again, 2 weapons each hand. You got 3 things you can put in your, in quotes, backpack, and then extra pegs are stored over here. This is our standard pack we've come to expect. We've got a card that explains how the car works. There's 2 different cars in the game, so there's a card for each. You've got your spawn. Of course, you've got a deck of equipment cards in there as well. Colored bases. There's actually 12 rings to snap on the bases this time. 2 of each color. You can see 2 reds there, 2 oranges, 2 purple, 2 blue, etc. When you play the game, you have your Romero and your Zombicide mode figure available to you. So when you switch back and forth, you keep a consistent color on the board. This, I think, is one of the nicest touches in the game. This is the bag of pegs for keeping track of things in your board. And if you take a look closely, these are shaped like broken table legs. So if you remember the movie, one of the common weapons in the movie, and indeed one of the common weapons in this game, is a broken table leg. So these are your pegs you use to mark your board. Very nice little touch. Makes it distinctive from previous games. We got a little set of dice here. These are standard 6-siders, but notice the coloration. They're kind of a bone color with a dark brown. So again, keeping with that subdued theme, where past Zombicide games you get bright green, bright yellow, sometimes even glow-in-the-dark type things. These are a little more subdued. So I'll move this aside. We've got this nice little cardboard box here that separates the miniatures out from everything else. Pop it open on the end here. Inside, we've got a double stack tray of miniatures. Now you'll notice more colors of miniatures than we typically have. The ghouls, of course, instead of zombies in this game, are very pale. Makes them very distinctive. Your Romero mode survivors are in gray. Your Zombicide versions are in this brownish color. And then these red are called character ghouls. Anytime a character ghoul comes on, everybody flips to Romero mode for the duration of them being on the board. Bottom tray. Remove this tape here real quickly. So bottom tray is many more ghouls. Now if you look carefully here, you will see we have ghouls that are walkers. We have some carrying bricks and table legs. Those are able to break down the barricades and get into the house or whatever you're playing in. And then we've got fatties, which are the biggest and strongest. No runners, no abominations in this set at all. They didn't feel that was in keeping with the theme of the movie. Finally, we have the tiles. Tiles, again, nice subdued colors here. You can see clearly the dining area inside the house. You've got the grounds outside of the house. You can see the light spilling out through the open windows and doors. These areas can be barricaded shut to prevent the ghouls from getting in. But again, the ghouls, some of them have breakers abilities. They're able to break their way in. The back of this, as expected, is a set of tokens. So you've got your spawn zones. Spawn zones are mainly red, but they are colored on the back. There is a white spawn zone, which counts as your primary spawn zone, and that's laid out in each of the scenarios. Notice this truck token for the car has 6 spots. Yes, all 6 survivors can be on there at the same time. You have a stair token, first player token. You've got open doors. You've got broken barricades. On the backside, you're going to have your regular barricades. So there we have the contents of the base box. Pretty well what you'd expect from a Zombicide game. Moving this aside, let's take a look at the extras that came if you were able to pledge on Kickstarter. Now this is the Dead of Night expansion. These are exclusives for the Zombicide game. Generally, when Cool Mini does a box like this, it opens with a flap on the end, much like this one did. But this is, in fact, a standard closure box, just like you expect for any board game. It's very nice. Again, it's the evocative art that we saw on the end of the main box. It has a nice linen finish to it, so it's a high quality. Inside of here, we have 4 additional survivors in their Romero mode, as well as their Zombicide mode. And we've got 1 additional character ghoul. Now this is a character ghoul here. This is also the same character as a ghoul, but in this case, they wanted to make it special. In the movie, this particular ghoul named Helen appears nude. So they've done this ghoul nude as well. She is kind of discreetly covered by the way her pose is set up, but just in case there's any concern about that, there is 1 nude piece in the game. So again, we have our standard characters cards here. We've got Romero mode. We've got Zombicide mode on each of those. And then we have a couple of special pieces of equipment here. So I don't know if you can read this in the video, but the back of this card says the first survivor to kill a relative ghoul, I'm sorry, the red are relative ghouls, not character ghouls, kill a relative ghoul gets this card. Then the survivor may reorganize their inventory free. So a little different way to find equipment in this game sometimes.
So as we saw, Night of the Living Dead has the same high production values we've come to expect from Cool Mini or not. The Kickstarter exclusive extras are quite awesome as well. I'm John DeCook, and thank you for joining us for building Geek Cred.